I just want to start showing you this image. These are the games I worked on in the last 15 years when I started to make games. It was before the university, and well, it just they're not like all complete games. There are some concepts, some small game. There is a commercial game because after the university, I went to work as a programmer in computer in some game company. The first one was here in Milan. It was called Virtual Identity, and it closed like after 1 year. And then I moved in Benevento, working with Spin Vector, which is still alive, and it's a really good company. And well, there are also some game jam games. And this one is my first game. It's about Papernick, and it's nice. Anyway, I'm here today to talk about two things. The first one is MirrorMoon, which is the game. It's just came out on Steam. And the second one is Layers game design tool, which is a tool to analyze and games and can be used also in brainstorming. And they are two unrelated things because we did not use layers to make MirrorMoon, but I just want to tell you something you can use. So before talking to you about MirrorMoon, I want you to see the game, and I want someone to come here to play, someone who hasn't played it, so please. Okay. Cedi. Okay, he's lost. Yeah, we reach the moment, it's lost. Okay, thank you. I'm not showing you all the game because I just want you. Thank you. I just want you to play it and to try for yourself. But you see, gonna tell you one thing. You see the moon? I don't find it. Moon, where are you? Where are you? Moon, 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 moon. Oh yeah, yeah. So you see, you can move the moon, rotate it, and when you shoot at the moon, a beacon of light appears on your planet. So this is just the beginning of the game. There are a lot of different things you can do. And this is just to show you that the game is about the feeling of being lost, the exploration and the mystery. And as you see, we are not telling anything about what you have to do in the game. So that's the point. That's the vision we had where we started to work on the game. And that's the thing. This thing has remained until the end. So. About this game was started in the Global Game Jam during the Global Game Jam of last year, January 2012. Then it was showcased in the GDC. Then it was showcased also in the Indicated and the Fantastic Fest, and was nominated as an IGF finalist this year. And the first IGF. Do you know IGF? It's the Independent Games Festival. It's the most important games festival in the independent games area. And now it's out on Steam and also came out on Ouya, which is an Android micro console this month. Okay, so this is me. I've made this guy with this game with these two guys. They are Santa Ragione. These two guys, one is from Milano, the other one is from Verona. And they also are not new in games. They made Photonica, which is a first-person runner, very beautiful. It was showcased at the Biennale di Venezia 2 years ago. Also made a board game. So we just joined and made a game to the Global Game Jam. I'm going to talk a little bit about the game jams. Do you know what a game jam is? You should, because Professor Lanzi told about them Tuesday. But it's you pick a lot of people, you put them in a room, and you give them 48 hours a weekend, and you say, okay, make a game about this in 2 days. And you have to make a game from scratch in 2 days. Okay, completely from scratch. So it's really important I think it's really important that you participate to the next Global Game Jam, because it's really pushing your boundaries. It's really pushing your physical strength, because you're not supposed to sleep a lot during the game jam, and you meet a lot of people. For example, I met the two guys from Santa Ragione the year before at the other Global Game Jam. So we decided to go together to Genova, because it was the only one place in the North Italy that hosted the Global Game Jam. So we decided to take a car and we went there. So what happened? It happened that we were a little bit late, like 15 minutes late, and the groups were already formed. So we had to make a game together. So I didn't want to make games with them, but we have to. This was the theme of the jam. It's Uroburo. It's the snake that's eating its own tails. It's a really ancient symbol that relates with the returning, forever returning, and the death and life and things like that. Anyway, we just started brainstorming. Okay, we just drawing things with the markers. On this is Niccolo. This is mine. Very stupid. This is Pietro. Okay, really stupid. So the first concept, we ended up with a concept, really cool concept in the end, in the first night. And what is this one? Okay, you are on a flat planet, very small planet, but flat, completely flat. And you see only the line of the horizon, okay? And you walk straight. And while you walk, you don't see anything coming to you, okay? And in the end, you return to the first place you were, where you started, okay? So that's good, but it's kind of unusable thing. We had to put a map somewhere for the player to know where he was going. So we thought about, what if we put a second camera overlapped with a first-person camera with a map of the planet that show you where the things are. But then we thought, this is really not different from having a mini-map in one corner of the screen. So it's not that beautiful. The next step was, what if the map is inside the world of the game, okay? So the moon in the game is a map. And that's where all the game started to, was born in a sense. And then we started all the mechanics, like you can rotate, you can move, you can shoot things. There are all ways to find your path on the planet. Otherwise, it's really flat and confusing, as you've seen. This was the first version of the game. A lot of effort was put in graphical effects. You see the Eclipse one, and in choosing the right colors, the right palette, and that kind of thing. Anyway, we did it, and we completed the game in 3 days. Yeah. This game had a little bit of success because it was selected as an experimental gameplay session. It's the most important session of the Game Developer Conference. So my two friends went to San Francisco and thought about game and how the game could be expanded. So we showed some crazy idea like constellation and moon with other moon rotating around the moon and other crazy things that in the end were used in the final game that I showed you before. And we started to spread out the game, sending to every conference, to every award, to every festival. And it was selected in the end for the Indicate and for the Fantastic Fest in Austin. The Indicate is probably the second most important indie games festival. So what happened? In the January, like exactly 1 year later, we had the news, completely unexpected, that the game was being selected as a finalist in the IGF, the Independence Games Festival. And it was, as I said, the first time an Italian title went to the IGF, to the main competition. It was selected for the Nuovo Award. Nuovo, because it's just the category of games that are new and that are strange, that are very experimental. Anyway, this is the booth where we showcase the game to the other developers. And I went there too. San Francisco was really cool. And also, this is a beautiful illustration made by Gabriele Brombin that we used to make these posters. And we showcased the game to other developers, and there were also some famous developers that came to our booth. This is Suda51. Maybe you don't know him, but it's a quite famous Japanese developer that made No More Heroes and Killer 7, and the last one is Killer is Dead, maybe, I remember. And it's kind of funny because he went to try the game. He just like very interested in the game, but he didn't get it. So you may probably understand. Anyway, he just wanted to try the game, but since this English was very pure, and he just said, "Okay, I'm coming later." In some way, coming later and to play later. Okay, so he came back with another Japanese developers, developer who can speak a little more English. So he put him to play, and we were telling the guys what you have to do. And it was strange because, I don't know, maybe it's one thing that Japanese developers do a lot, or Japanese people do a lot, but he was really impressed. It was like shouting. When we just saw what was happening on the game, just like this. It was very impressed, and it was really funny. And what else? Especially when he just understood the title of the game, because Mirror Moon, the moon is the mirror. He just translated in Japanese and started shouting like a crazy man, like 10 times. Okay, like this. Anyway, these are some photos from the award of the IGF. This is the finalist part. You have like tables and free drink and that kind of things. And we were separated from the other developers that were seated like in rows outside. This is a photo of the show. This is Brandon Boyer, the IGF chairman. Someone told us that we maybe were going to win or have some possibilities, but we didn't win in the end. But that's not so important, because the most important fact of being finalists is that we won an agreement with Steam. Okay, so this is kind of game that it's really difficult to play, and it would be really difficult to go on Steam with this kind of game. So we were really happy, and we landed up on Steam this September with a game named MirrorMoonEP. We added the EP in the end, and now I'm showing you why. So we worked on the game from March when we went to San Francisco to September to expand it and make a proper commercial release that we put on like $10, the price tag. So why EP? This is a screenshot of the game, not an artwork. What we added the navigation part. That's the one you saw at the beginning. This is kind of crazy spaceship interface, and you see all the red part are interactive part, and we are not telling one word on how this works, and it can be really confusing. But it's an idea of the other two guys from Santa Ragione, because they really love old school interface and spaceship interface and buttons and clicks and taps and that kind of things. They also wonder of making a game made only of buttons and levers, and you have to understand what to do, and that's the only goal of the game. And so they put a little bit of that idea inside Mirror Moon. So it's really harsh, because a lot of people feel confused. And it's like, I read on Twitter sometimes that people say, okay, I'm playing 2 hours of Mirror Moon, and I don't know what I'm doing. It lasts for 2 hours. But in the end, when you manage to understand what's happening, it's really beautiful feeling, because you feel like the smartest guy in the world. You feel, oh, I did it, yeah, I can travel. So what's the point of this interface? The point is just of the second part of this part and of the screen is to travel, because you see all these dots on the screen. They are all planets, and you can use the interface to travel to them, and that's the exploration part that we added. So there is not only the exploration of the planet, there's the exploration of the galaxy. We built a whole galaxy made of 1,000 stars, and each one of them has its own randomly generated puzzles and its own atmospheric effects and its own colors and its own architectures and things that you find on the surface. So it's a game about finding something is so constructed in a way that even if I made the game, if I travel to a planet I've never been before, I don't know what could be on the surface. I don't really know, and what I have to do. The other important part that we added is a multiplayer. It's not the multiplayer in a common sense. You don't see other people playing. It's just a multiplayer in the sense that when you travel to a planet, and if you are the first one to reach it, you can give it a name, okay? And that name remains attached to the star, and all the other players see the name you give to the star. So it's like there's like a rush of traveling to galaxies. Oh, I want to name all the stars of the galaxy. Oh, I want to name them like this, like this, like this. And that's cool because it gives you a motivation in exploring the game, even if there are planets that have no puzzle at all, so they're kind of dull. But this gives a lot of motivation. Another beautiful thing is that there are constellations. Maybe you don't see in this screen, but there are lines in the sky, and you see some text. What's that? It's because we built a constellation in the sky in some planets, and we decided to name the constellation picking up one of the stars and taking its name. So you can find constellations that have names that are given by other players, and sometimes some beautiful combination of names and shapes happens because also the shapes of the constellation are randomly generated. And that's the detail. The stars you see in the sky are the real stars in the game. So if you are at a point, you see a certain sky because of the stars that you see from that point in the galaxy. Okay, that's why it's beautiful. And I'm not telling that to you. Okay, it's a secret. I can tell. Also, EP it's a term they've taken from the music world. It means extended play, if you know. We use that because we put also a lot of effort in the soundtrack and the sound design. We hired 7 different musicians to make the soundtrack. They're very beautiful. We are going to release the soundtrack on Bandcamp in these days, in a few days. So it's really, I think it's a beautiful game. So with the Gatos team, we did all this thing. That means we are rich now? No. Anyway, we managed to cover the cost of the of development and the people we hired, but it's a kind of very strange title. It's not for all. We get some mixed reviews, like from the website to our most whose readers like most, like FPS or that kind of things. We get low scores, but we also get like 9 on Eurogamer and other full score on less known websites. So we are kind of happy, but we know it's a game it's not a game for everyone. But I hope you will try it and enjoy it. Okay, this is the website of the game.